Yes, everyone, welcome back. This is Stephen Howson. This is tactical preview of Manchester United against Everton in their Premier League. Do you know what? I actually think this is a huge opportunity for United. I think if United beat Everton at Goodison this weekend, there's no way we're not getting top four. And when you clip that up, just tag me. Thank you. I think this is a massive opportunity for United because I think if Chelsea fuck this up and we manage to sneak into the top four this weekend, I think it's very to make sure we maintain that going all the way to the end of the season. I think there's a good chance that we do lose points along the way, and probably with the next couple of games, City and Spurs coming up, I think we probably drop points in at least one of those. But I do think that if we get this victory this weekend, then we are going to be in a very good position to set us up for the end of the season. I think that we can win so many of these games. I actually think if you go through game by game, we can win every game in the league at least to the end of the season. The only issue is, do you have the faith in this United team to be that consistent? I really don't. But wouldn't it be a brilliant throwback to... Solskjaer's clearly trying to do like a Sir Alex Ferguson tribute act with the way he's managing this team. Wouldn't it be a brilliant tribute to that by him having a team that kicks on in the second half of the season and goes and finishes strong to the end of a competition? That'd be fantastic. United coming into this on good form, 7 points and 3 clean sheets in the last 3 Premier League games. Scored 11 in our previous 4 fixtures in all comps, 2-1, 1-all, 3-0 and 5-0. Unbeaten in 7 games in all competitions. And I've got a bit of a cold forming as well, unfortunately. You missed about 900 sneezes yesterday in my my transfer review video. Pogba and Marcus are going to be sidelined, and it also sounds like it looks like Tony Marshall is going to be out as well. Probably a little bit too soon for Axel Tuanzebe and Timothy Fosu-Mensah. The quote that we got from Solskjaer on Tony Marshall was, he reported this morning, yesterday, that he had a fitness test. It's not his hamstring, it's his thigh in and around the knee. We knew when we made the decision we made in the summer it was going to take time. Rome wasn't built in a day. The culture, the attitude, the fitness, the camaraderie, the team spirit, and maybe the understanding between the players have improved. We missed that box opener that Bruno is now proving to be. There was 1 or 2 pieces missing, and we still know we miss 1 or 2 where we want to be, but it's a work in progress. Talking about the transfer situation going forward there. Key player will be Bruno Fernandes then. 4 starts, 2 goals, 2 assists. What a signing. Brilliant signing so far. Instant impact. He's going to be the key to unlocking and penetrating this Everton defence. I think it's a dodgy defence as well. We saw that a little bit against Arsenal, and if you look at their fixtures lately, Newcastle put a couple past them, West Ham scored against them. They've not been good at keeping clean sheets, and I think that's going to be where United have got to be good in this game. I think we've got the ability to keep a clean sheet, and we've now got the ability to unlock defences. I'm not saying this is a tap-in. I think this is still a very tough game for us, but one that I'm going into it with the confidence that I think we can win. Solskjaer talking about Bruno. When I sent him in, when I took him off, obviously he didn't want to come off. He just loves football. He's got so much enthusiasm and smile about him. He just wants to be out there and he wants to be better. I tried to send him in because he was cold and he said, no, I want to watch. Just loves football. He'll know everything about football. He's one of those old school boys where football is everything for him. And you love to hear that, don't you? A little bit on Everton then. In the previous fixture, 3-2 loss to Arsenal. Even though they displayed a bit of a promising performance, it does leave them 11th in the table. A win could put them in the top half, putting them in contention for a possible late surge with a European spot in the league. I just think that's probably a little bit far off them. I think it's hardly a certainty for United, but they are 5 points behind us. I think if United lost this weekend, I would be very unsure if we could go on and do it. That being said, like with a win, I think we really can go on and do it. So it'd be tough for them even if they did, but I think if we beat them, it's probably definitely not going to happen. Sigurdsson has struggled to find form for Everton this season, but he's got a bit of a decent record against United. He scored 5 and contributed 4 assists in 10 appearances, so he's definitely going to be one to watch. Calvert-Lewin's found a little bit of form and he's a bit different. He's certainly not a super prolific goal scorer, but 12 goals in 25 games in the Premier League, 5 goal contributions in his last 5 games with 4 goals and 1 assist. He's definitely someone that we're going to have to keep an eye on. So let's have a look at my starting 11, and here's how I would roll with it going into this game. I think that I'd like to see Bailly at the back alongside Maguire after the performance that he put up against Bruges. Wan-Bissaka on the right. I'd love to see Brandon, but I think it will be Luke Shaw. I think he's going to keep his place after the form that we've seen him in recently. And I've gone with a diamond because I think Everton are good in midfield, and I think that's how you get about them a little bit. And I also think James needs to be rested, and I don't think there's any other wingers that we can bring in. So I think this suits how we're going to play. Because of this, I wouldn't actually be shocked if he did go with, instead of the extra man in midfield, maybe not Matic or maybe not McTominay because of coming back from injury. I wouldn't be shocked if this team is almost identical, but Brandon Williams was in there and it was a 3-5-2 that was being played instead. But because of the lack of options up front, I like this as an option. Matic, McTominay, Fred and Bruno in midfield I think would be brilliant. Echoes of what we saw against Bruges, and then Greenwood and Ighalo up front. What's the worry in this is if Greenwood goes down, then what? Showing just how desperately we needed to bring Ighalo in. Ridiculous. All right, I'm going to head over to the Patreon group and see what questions we've got from you guys in the Everton preview. Is Marshall's injury long-term? Solskjaer doesn't even know. I've got no idea. Ighalo to start again. I think he mentioned in the press conference that he said he'll be ready for Sunday. Can I spend this whole preview talking about how good Bruno is and maybe a few minutes on how important it is to have McSauce back in the team? I think the whole midfield had a good performance against Bruges on the back of McSauce being in the team. And a couple of lads, I think Joe mentioned earlier when he was on full-time Devils, it might be a bit too soon for McTominay so soon after injury, but I think I'd play him, to be honest. I really would. How many goals and assists will Bruno get in this one? One of each. Do I think Ighalo's the better fit for this team? Pretty much like Firmino at the shit. Not a standout centre forward, but the way he makes the way we play work. What do I think? Yeah, I think there's an archetype of a forward that Solskjaer wanted. Haaland was one archetype, and Bruno is probably a little bit more. What's the word I'm looking for? He's a little bit more of a. What's the word? A bit more of a firecracker. He's a bit more energetic than what I think you get. I mean, Haaland's rapid, but Haaland doesn't have that energy in the final third that Ighalo's got. He's like a fucking hand grenade going off almost. But they are of a type of forward that we don't have at the club. What minute will Ighalo score his hat-trick in? Says Pat. Joe, I'd be very happy if he comes out with 1 in 2 by the end of the season, to be honest. Will Ighalo surpass Shearer's Premier League goal-scoring record during his time at United? Fucking hell, how giddy are you lot off the back of yesterday? Reckon Fred will be taking corners again. Notice Bruno wasn't on the left-hand side once against Bruges. Maybe. Calvert-Lewin's got 14 goals this season. Has he surprised you with his goal tally? A little bit, yeah, because he's a decent player, but I don't think he's excellent. I think he's got the X factor. I don't think he could do it at United, put it that way. Worried about Lindelof in the air against Calvert-Lewin? I am. That's why I went with Bailly. Or do we need Lindelof's composure to beat the press? As I mentioned earlier, it could be Shaw in a back three. It could also be Lindelof, Bailly, Maguire in a back three as well, instead of Shaw, potentially. After the shocking performance in the fixture last season, do I think this game could be a good measure of team progression and improvements to all his managerial capabilities? Yes and no, because it's obviously a different manager and a slightly different team that we're coming up against, but that was a fucking horrific performance for United last season. And obviously Solskjaer felt the need to come out and give the really strong words after it that he did, in terms of that some players just will not be here. Simple as that. Andreas and Lingard to China to keep it Ighalo. Do I feel Ole has been given the appropriate amount of praise for his recent form? No, because as soon as we lose, it's his fault. But I haven't seen anyone go, I tell you what, clean sheet and win after win after win. Well done, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Not one fucking person have I seen say that. And I'm not necessarily going to say that, because I don't blame him when we lose. So I don't automatically give him the full credit for when we win. He's a big part of a team, and probably a slightly bigger part than all of the players on an individual basis, but no bigger than what the players are as a collective. Would I start Greenwood or James? Greenwood. Who will we be linked with from LSASK? Lynn's in the papers now. This went out before I actually said, and I haven't read these, but I said that on the Stretford Paddock video before, where I said we're going to get linked with someone because that's literally what they do to have some SEO value. What injury does Axel have? I don't know. How many goals and assists will Bruno get this season? Double figures, easily, I think. Do I enjoy Maguire's forward runs with the ball against Bruges? Yes, because that's something that I wanted to see from him. That's literally what a good ball-playing centre-half can do. They can step into midfield because they've got the ability, and then they have the options to do whatever they want to do around that. Am I surprised we're creating more chances? If it's the manager's fault we're not creating chances, then surely it's the manager's tactical decisions that have led us to creating more. If you read people on social media, that's what they would say, isn't it? Or if you listen to fucking people that actually have a pot of glue, what we've been saying all season, you get better players in and the performances have gone up. Well, I wonder what the fucking connection could be. What do I make of the cash reserves report as that we've only got 100 mil for transfers? Reckon it's true. That assumes that we're paying cash for transfers. Most people don't pay cash for transfers, and people thought it was a bit weird that we paid cash for Harry Maguire, so I don't think it's a massive issue. Any updates on Axel and Timbo? Sadly not. Unfortunately, I wish both of them could get back into the squad as soon as possible. I'm not sure they're both ready to be starting, but they definitely both need to be in the squad ASAP. And that literally is about it. Before you go, if you want yourself one of these, Stretford Paddock shirts are available for about a week or so. They're not your typical run-of-the-mill. I mean, you can just about see on the light here, you know, there's some really fucking cool details on these. They're a premium shirt. Half the price of what you're looking at for a United shirt, obviously. If you want one, the link for that will be in the description. We've sold quite a few. I'd like to sell a few more because I think we can do something with them, bro, if we sell maybe a certain number. So if you fancy one and want to help us out and want to support Stretford Paddock and don't want to give the Glazers your money, that's your option to do that. And we are going to be playing games very, very soon. We're going to be playing games that you can come and watch and shout abuse at the manager if you like. And if you're interested in coming following that, then next week we're going to have the next episode of Stephen Howson Football Manager where you can follow the progress of Stretford Paddock FC. Otherwise, I will see you on Stretford Paddock for the watch-along tomorrow. About 15 minutes before kick-off, come and join me, Joe, Alex and the lads. I cannot confirm or deny it is a rum day tomorrow, but tune in and you will find out. Cheers for watching. See you in the next one.